Hey scholars, it's Mrs. Jasnica, and we're back for another Draw With Me challenge. This week we're going to be drawing sunflowers. What you'll need for this project is a paper, a pencil, and something to color with like markers, crayons, or colored pencils. All right, let's go back to the art room. Hey kindergarten through second grade, this is Mrs. Jasnica, and we're going to be drawing a sunflower. To begin our sunflower, we're going to be putting our paper lengthwise, which is vertically. So that means it looks like the way that you write normally, where you would normally write like this. So it goes long way, not like this. Once we have the paper in the correct position, we're going to find the middle of the paper. So the middle of the paper is right around here. We're going to be drawing a circle going up from the middle of the paper. So a little bit above the middle of the paper. We're going to be starting with the middle of the sunflower. And we're going to be making just a regular simple circle. Like this. Now, after we make the middle of the sunflower, we have to make the petals around it. Now, we learned last week how to make leaves, and the petals around the sunflower look very similar to some of the leaves that we learned how to draw. We're going to be making the leaf shape or petal shape that looks like two parentheses. So let me show you one. We're going to be going from the middle circle, and I'm going to start with one going down, and it's going to be a curved line that looks like this. So far just one curved line. Kind of looks like a happy face if you put it like this. Now we're going to be making another one of those curved lines connecting from here back to the circle. So I'm going to start at the point, and I'm going to go up and curve back. And again, this is a curved line that sort of looks like a happy face, or a C shape, a flat C shape. This is how you make the petals. We learned how to make this shape when we learned how to draw leaves. We're going to make that shape all the way around. So if you need to turn your paper a little bit to help you draw this shape, you can, whichever way you want to face your paper so that you can make this shape. We're going to make another curved line like this. And then from this point, we're going to go back to here. So notice how the petals are thin at the edge, the part that's far away from the circle. And at the circle, the lines are fatter, they're farther apart. I'm going to turn my paper again, and I'm going to make another of the same shape. A curved line from this point back to the circle. So now I have 3. And you can make as many as they fit. If for you only 5 of them fit, that's fine. If for you can make 20 leaves or 20 petals, that's fine too. I'm going to make another curved line, curved line. And I like turning my paper. You do not have to turn your paper when you do this. I just find it easier to make my curved lines toward me. And since I'm over here, I do them toward me. Another curved line, and I'm going to keep doing this all the way around. Now, another thing you might notice is I'm leaving space in between my petals. You don't have to do this. A real sunflower has tons and tons and tons of petals, so they're always going to be touching, but I'll show you how we're going to do that in a minute. I'm going to do more curved lines. Some of my leaves are, or not leaves, but petals are a little bit fatter than other ones. They don't have to be perfect. So see, this one's a fat petal and this one's a skinny petal. I'm gonna keep going. And I have space for about 2 more. So I'm gonna put 2 more petals here. I don't know exactly how many I have. We can count them together. But the amount of petals is not important. What's important is that your petals are going all the way around the circle that we drew. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have an odd number of petals around my circle. Now, we're gonna make the stem of our sunflower. Now I have a little gap right here. You might not have a gap down here. If you don't, that's okay. You can just draw a line from one of the leaves, or one of the petals, excuse me. We're gonna go from either the circle or from one of the petals, and we're going to go down all the way to the bottom of the paper. Now my line is pretty straight. It's not perfect, but it's pretty straight. If your line is not straight, that's okay. And now from one of these petals, I'm gonna go out, down, until I reach the bottom of the page. So all I did was make 2 lines that are going the same direction. And that's gonna be my stem. Now on the stem, my sunflower needs some leaves. And I know that we learned how to draw leaves last week, so you guys shouldn't have any problem with this. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna draw a little curved line going up from the stem. Then another little curved line like this. And then we're gonna draw a leaf. So to draw a leaf, it looks just like these. We're gonna make a curved line going sideways and a curved line going sideways. Now we're gonna make another one down here. We're gonna make a curved line going up, another one going up, and then we're gonna make the leaf. So see, this looks kind of like a sad face. And now we gotta make the happy face part. There we go. Now we're gonna add some veins. So to make the veins, we make a line going through the leaf all the way till you hit this point. And then you add lines inside the leaf. Your lines can go whichever way you want. There's one of my leaves, and then I'm gonna make another line over here with slanted lines going all the way to the edge of my leaf. And if this is too hard for you, you do not have to draw the veins of the leaf. I know sometimes it could be a little complicated. Now, kindergarten, you can stop right here, but if you want a challenge, let's see what we can do to make it a little bit more challenging. Now, 1st and 2nd grade, you guys can definitely do this, because 1st and 2nd grade, you guys are really awesome artists. So what we're going to do is in between all of these spaces, we're gonna draw more leaves. What, Miss Jasnica, more leaves? Yes, more. And not leaves, they're technically petals, even though they look like leaves. So over here, in between these 2 petals, we're gonna draw what looks like a curvy V shape. So we're gonna go, actually, let's make a point right here, okay? So a point, a little dot. And from that dot, we're gonna make the V shape. So here's 1, here's 2. Done. There is another petal in between those. And I'm gonna turn my paper. And again, if it helps you, you wanna draw a dot in between the 2 leaves or the 2 petals, and then draw the V with this being the point of the V. So go up, go up. We're gonna keep doing that. For me, it's easier not to draw the V, so I'm just gonna go like this and like this, or like this and like this. Any of those types of V's is fine. I actually like curving them out like this better. And we're just gonna go around and put a V in between all of these petals. See? And what that does is it makes our sunflower look like it has way more petals and more realistic. So first and second grade, you guys should definitely be doing this because I know that you can. So over here, there's this space that I left because of the stem. It's gonna look weird if the stem is in front of all of these petals. So I think I'm actually gonna cover part of the stem. You don't have to do this, you can do your petal behind. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a little petal right here, and it's gonna cover part of my stem. Now again, you don't have to do that. Your petal can just go behind like this. Boop. Just like that. Now I'm gonna go around a little. I don't really like this petal over here, so I'm going to just make it a little more pointy. And now look how awesome my sunflower looks. Now one more detail I'm gonna add is I'm gonna put another circle here in the middle, but I'm gonna make it a wobbly, bumpy circle. It's not gonna be perfect because the middle of a sunflower is kind of bumpy looking, and actually so is this part on the outside, because this part here has all the sunflower seeds. I don't know if any of you have ever had sunflower seeds. They're pretty good. But this whole area is full of sunflowers. This is actually where they get sunflower seeds from, here in the middle. So now our sunflower is finished. You can outline it and color it in and send it to me on Class Dojo so I can see how awesome your sunflower looks. Let's go to 3rd through 6th grade. All right, 3rd through 6th grade, we're gonna be doing a sunflower, but our sunflower is gonna be a little different from the one that kindergarten through 2nd grade did. We're actually gonna be making a really zoomed in sunflower. It's gonna be so zoomed in that we're only gonna see half of it. This is actually something that artists do a lot, where they take something that they think is beautiful and they zoom into it and they draw every little detail about it. So that's what we're gonna be doing, and at the end of this picture, you're gonna see how beautiful it looks. So the first thing we're going to do is we're gonna make sure that our paper is vertical. Normally we draw like this, but this time we're gonna be drawing up and down. Once you have your paper in the correct position, we are going to be finding the middle, which is right around here, and we're going to be drawing a half circle on the left side in the middle, okay? So right around here. When you draw this half circle, you can choose to make it perfectly round, or you can make it wobbly and bumpy looking. I'm gonna make it bumpy looking because a real sunflower has sunflower seeds in the center, and they're kind of bumpy looking, or they make it look bumpy looking. So I would rather have mine look more realistic by making it wobbly and bumpy and not perfect. So here is my wobbly, bumpy looking half circle. Now you guys will probably find it easier to make a half circle that's straight, but it's up to you. Now we're gonna make another half circle in the middle of this half circle, and it's also going to be bumpy because again, the middle of the sunflower is bumpy. So there's my other half circle, and it is bumpy. If that's too hard for you, like I said, you can just make it, you know, like a straight line that's just like a normal half circle. Now we have to make the leaves. Since we are only making half of the flower, we're only going to be making leaves that go out from here. So they're going to be going this way. And they're going to be coming off the paper on the edges, because this is a zoomed in sunflower. So I'm going to start at the bottom. I like making the petals of the flower toward myself. I find it easier to draw curved lines when I face them toward me. Whichever way you want to hold your paper is perfectly fine. I'm going to be making a curved line. We learned how to make leaves last week. And those leaves are very, very similar to how you make petals. We're going to be going from this middle semicircle or half circle and making a curved line all the way to the end of the paper. So from this semicircle or half circle, make a line that goes down all the way to the end of the paper. That means your pencil is literally going to touch the edge of the paper. Okay. Now, if you hold the paper this way, you'll notice that this looks like an arch, or it also could look like a sad face. Now, I'm going to be turning my paper just slightly, and I'm going to be doing that again for this part. This is going to be a new, not leaf, a new petal. So this time I'm going to make the petal curve the opposite way. And then I'm going to make another curved line going to this point. Or actually maybe from this point all the way back down to the half circle. So this is another petal. I'm going to turn my paper and I'm going to do it again. These petals don't have to be touching like mine are. But it's up to you if you leave a tiny space in between them or not. All I'm doing is making curved lines that have a point or a tip. So they look kind of like leaves, but they're petals. And I'm going to keep doing this all the way around my sunflower. Now notice that some of my sunflower petals are really fat and some of them are skinny. Remember that this is from nature and it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, this one that I'm making now is super long. This one's super short. Now I'm gonna make another curved line, and this one's gonna go off the paper like this one did. And in fact, I think I might make a line going up like this. There we go. All right, so you're probably like, Miss Jasnica, that's it? We're done? No. We still have to make more petals. So in between these areas, you're going to be making more petals. To make the petals in between, and we practiced this last week, we practiced making overlapping leaves to help us for this project today. We're going to be making overlapping petals. So now that we've done the foreground petals, that means the petals in the front, we're going to be doing the petals in the back, or in the middle ground, shall I say. So behind the foreground. We're going to start by making V shapes, or curved lines, that go like this and like this. So just lines that meet at a point. These came off the paper, but it is a V shape. Let me turn the paper so I can show you a little better, because this one is not going to go off the page. So you can make a dot over here somewhere in between these two petals and then make a V. See? A V shape. And that's my petal behind these two leaves. Let's keep going. Whichever way is easier for you, you're going to be making this V shape. It's like a curved V, a fancy V, let's call it, in between the petals that are already there. And I'm going to do another one right here. Fancy V. That's what I'm going to call it, a fancy V. Now, you could stop there, or maybe we can add one more over here, but that one's going off the page. But if you really, really want to do another one, you can even do more in between here. So, again, you can stop right there, and that's perfectly fine. Or you can make another V shape behind these. Now, I'm gonna do it just to show you. You don't have to. But you could do this forever, all the way to the edge of the paper until there's no more paper left. But it does look kind of cool to have a little bit of the background showing and then color the background like another color. So I'm actually going to stop right there. This is how my sunflower is going to look. So this area here is the negative space or the background. These front leaves or front petals are the foreground along with this center area. And then these leaves here are the middle ground. All right, let's get this outlined and colored in. I just realized something. I forgot to mention that you can also add a couple of little creases to make the petals look more realistic. So let's do that real quick. So literally all you have to do to make it look like the petals are creased is add a line going from this area here, so this half circle, the middle, and another little line. That's it. So just add a line and a line. A line, and they don't even have to be going the same way. Bloop. There we go. And see how my lines are not necessarily facing the same way? So any of these types of lines can make it look like the petals are creased. And if you want to do a crease in the back, you can do that too. So from the middle, I'm just going out and making one crease. All right, now for real this time, let's outline and color in. All right, scholars, here is my finished product. This is what my sunflower looks finally colored in. Now, some points I want to make about this. The first thing is I did add a couple of little bumpy areas here to make it look like the bumps for the sunflower seeds that are here. You don't have to do that, of course. And another thing I wanted to note is that I used different colors on the petals. So sunflowers, believe it or not, are all kinds of different colors. They can be red, they can be orange, they can be yellow, they can be light brown, they can be beige, and so on. I chose to make them go from orange to like kind of a dark yellow, and then a bright yellow, like this color yellow, at the tip. Those are for the leaves here in the foreground. The leaves in the background, I only made them the orange color and then the dark yellow color. One last thing I wanted to mention. So you probably noticed that when I color the background one flat color, I always add these weird squiggly lines all over the place. Now, they're for two reasons. The first reason is because it makes it harder to see the marker lines that I leave, because I like to color like this, and I make lines, and they're really obvious. So if I cover them with squiggly lines, it's a little less easy to see my marker lines. And the other reason why I do squiggly lines when I have just one solid color in the background is because it adds like a little bit of texture to the background, and it makes it look nicer in my opinion. Of course, you guys do not have to do that. So hopefully you guys like this picture. I chose blue for the background because blue is the complementary color of orange. Blue and orange are complementary, which means that they look good together. They complement each other. You could also choose to do the complementary color of yellow. The complementary color of yellow is purple. So it is up to you what color you use, but if you want to do complementary colors, it will make your picture pop. All right, guys. Thank you for watching.